What's up? What's up? Big Herc Prison Talk Live. To all you wig splitters and cheek busters, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Prison Talk Live with Big Herc. Fresh Out is going down. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you guys all did something positive with your life and stayed out the way. Didn't get any trouble. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're a motherfucking weenie. You should have already hit the bell and told your friends about it so we can get this 500,000 mark. Once we hit a 500,000, we're going to give away $1,000. First place. Second place is going to be a flat screen TV. And third place is going to be a commissary package. So you guys need to motherfucking tell your friends. Subscribe to the channel so you can enter the win. Also, go to the website, FreshOutSeries.com, and subscribe so that you guys can be a participant in this giveaway. And maybe one of you guys want to give away your cheeks to a fellow fan. If you want to do that also, feel free to tune in and let everybody know you're giving away your cheeks. Shout out to the cheek busters. If you haven't subscribed to our Instagram and our Twitter, you need to do so. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the Instagram, the Twitter. And that way you don't miss out on, you know, whatever the hell we got going on. And, yeah, we got big things happening in the future. June 21st, the Fresh Out crew will be at the Vans Warped Tour in Pomona. Get your motherfucking tickets. Make sure you guys show up so we can do a meet and greet. And I'd love to see y'all there. June 21st in Pomona. And also we're looking for volunteers. If you would like to volunteer, hit us up. You know, get some beer tickets while you're there. Walk around, hang out, listen to some great music. Shoot us an email at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. So the Vans Warped Tour, June 21st, Pomona. Make sure you guys check us out. And hit us up if you guys are trying to volunteer and let us know what's happening. Other than that, you guys, there's been a lot of good things happening. You know, we making moves. The Fresh Out shoes are on the way. To all the people who order shoes, hopefully I'll have the shoes. I told you guys last week that they'll be here this week. And they actually have been shipped. I'm just waiting to get them. So when they get here, I'll be separating everybody's orders, shipping them out. And, yeah, you'll be able to get your floss on with the Fresh Out shoes. The slides will be following, and they'll be here real soon. So you guys make sure you stay up to date, and I'll keep you posted on that. I really thank you for your patience, and you guys have been very supportive. You know, the Fresh Out shoe thing is new for us. And, yeah, we're really trying to step our game up. We're trying to open up some doors and really make an impact on the Fresh Out apparel and on the fashion side of things. If you haven't got a chance to check out OG Badger's Prison Talk, make sure you check it out. We got a white guy giving his perspective on some of the prison talk issues we get. We get a lot of people asking about biracial, you know, do you have to ride? What happens when you go to the pen and blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm not white, so I can't tell it like he can tell it. So make sure you guys check out his episode of Prison Talk, which is now being aired on our channel. So let me know what you guys think about that. His interview will be dropping real soon. We also have another Something from Nothing jumping off real soon. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll have Ombre, who's going to be kicking some cool game about how he came up, how he's doing his thing. He's got a lot of big things going on in the music industry. And yeah, Ombre, all his links will be up there, but we'll be dropping his interview real soon. So let's get into some motherfucking questions. And for those of you who want to do interviews and you can't show up in person, maybe we can set up a Skype interview. I know I talked with one gentleman. Shoot us an email. And a lot of times, if I don't get your email right away, we get a lot of fucking emails. So I can't answer everybody. But if I don't get at you by email, try me direct message on Instagram or hit us up on Facebook Messenger. And we'll see what we can do. So, yeah, let's get into some questions, man. Somebody said, what do I think about Little Tay? Who knows about Little Tay? Little badass Little Tay. 9-year-old flossing, making it rain, talking about she got the haters. Well, that's social media today, you guys. That's what happens when your little kid runs rapid and talks shit and is making money. You know what I'm saying? Little Tay got the followers. She's killing it on Instagram. I'm quite sure she's got some type of social media deals going, but she's doing her thing, man. I'm not 9 years old. They didn't have that shit when I was growing up, so I wasn't able to market and capitalize on it. But hey, man, she's getting it in. But oh yeah, one of the guys who ain't calling you ready, go calling ready. Hey, have him call me, man. Shoot me a direct message about that. I totally spaced out, bro. I've been doing a lot of shit, man. Somebody said, how prominent are Muslim gangs in prison? I didn't see Muslim gangs. I seen Muslims. I knew some Muslims in prison. They weren't operating as a gang. You know, so I don't really know a whole lot about, you know, Muslim gangs in prison. I had some homies that were Muslim, and they didn't carry it like gang members. That wasn't their thing in there. Okay, thanks, man. Yeah, shoot me that info. I'll take care of that. What happens if Sailing don't take showers, also chilling in the cell with boxers on backwards? Oh, he wants to get his cheeks busted. Boxers on backwards is basically a no-no. And if you don't take a shower, you can get your wig split. I knew a dude, my co-defendant was having some mental issues, man, and I had to check him and let him know that he had to go wash that ass because motherfuckers only take so much of a stanky ass in prison before you get beat down. So, you know, the shower thing is very important. Hygiene is very important. You're around a lot of men, and motherfuckers do not want to smell stinky ass up in there. Somebody says, Big Herc, can inmates prepare themselves to get driver's license to get in prison or their permit classes? Well, what you do is, when I got out, there is no permit classes in prison. When I got out, I was at the halfway house, and everybody was trying to get their driver's license. So motherfuckers was passing around the study guide, and you hook up with somebody, they lace you on the test questions, and you go take your test. And everybody usually passes first time. But I hadn't had my license in 10 years. I went and took the written test, and I was back on the road. So, you know, once you get out, you know, if you go to a halfway house or somewhere where there's other people, most likely if a motherfucker's not a hater, he'll put you up on the book. Josh and Jesus, what's up, man? Why don't you take my advice and wear a hidden camera to those mechanics and record all they said? I'm not really worried about that, bro. It's already taken care of. I know how to do legal letters. I know the administrative process. Thanks for the donation. So I'm going to hit him after I pay for my transmission. And dude's going to offer me some money. So I'm not tripping. I got it handled, bro. All right, I know that these cats, what they working with, and I know how to legally get them to enter into a contract by their acquiesce. Somebody was asking me also about somebody getting their cheeks busted in prison. Excuse me. So I had a story for you guys. At one particular institution, one of my homies was there, and basically there was a brother running around with some tight ass pants on. He had a bubble butt. So somebody must not have told him that you don't walk around with tight ass pants on. And if you got to always pay attention to your surroundings. Apparently, this dude, when they were having, you know, they have a count, and that count time, 4 o'clock count, motherfuckers usually take a nap. But as soon as the doors pop, you're supposed to be up and ready. You never get caught slipping after count. Somebody will motherfucking split your wig. You can get, you know, motherfuckers run up in the cell. That's usually the best time to catch somebody is right after the count because they're relaxed and it's right before dinner. And some people aren't really paying attention. Well, apparently, this dude was sleeping during count. And when the doors cracked, he was on his stomach with his booty in the air. So the homie said 5 predators ran up in there on him and basically stuck this dude enough to where he couldn't fight back. and they took his cheeks. 5 predators took his motherfucking cheeks, man. So, yeah, man, you know, you don't ever get caught slipping with your cheeks in the air during count time. And you don't walk around with tight-ass pants on. And if you see niggas that are predators, break you off a broomstick and be ready. You know what I'm saying? My other homie said, flip side of that, my other homie was a motherfucking beast up in prison. And motherfuckers didn't want to see him one-on-one, so they thought they were going to catch him slipping after count. And they were going to try to do something to him. So 6 motherfuckers ran up in the cell. But he had a broomstick basically broken in half, sharpened on both ends. And when they came up in there, he was ready for their ass. And you know what they did? Ran right the fuck up out of the room. So, you know, you got to be a savage up in there, man. 6 motherfuckers, 10 motherfuckers. If you got 2 motherfucking steaks, ain't nobody going to try to do shit because they don't want to catch that motherfucking, that jab to the liver or jab to the stomach. So you can't be scared up in there. You can't let a motherfucker punk you. And you never get caught slipping after count. And always have you some type of motherfucking blinky ready. And they'll think twice before they try to run up on you. And I'm just telling you guys this. Pray that you never have to go to prison. But you don't want to get caught slipping. And don't let nobody take your motherfucking cheeks, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. It can be a dangerous place. And like I said, when the predators try to line up, or, you know, gang members trying to line up and run up on you, hey, you know, take some down with you. Don't go out without a fight, man. Never let a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, take advantage of you. Lock and sock, tuna fish can in the sock, you know what I'm saying? It's all about defensive measures. And if, you know, the people that try to attack you, a lot of time the guards know what's happening. So, hey, man, self-defense. If motherfucker try to take your life, you had to defend yourself. So believe that. Self-defense is a motherfucker, man. Somebody said, have you ever seen an inmate on a long bid, 9-10 years, consistently keep money to live comfortably? Are there families who support loved ones on entire bids? Yeah, man. You got a lot of dudes who have people that take care of them up in there. And I've seen guys that have their, you know, female significant other. They ride with them the whole time. You know, and they, you know, disperse money, run businesses for them. They get out, they still balling. It all depends on, you know, what type of family members you have that support you, or what type of you know, people you have on the street. You know, and then I know other dudes that run gambling tables. You know, I know a homie that ran a gambling table, and he was pulling in probably 10 G's a month, and he had a gang of people. They all took care of each other. And they were making money. So you can run gambling tables on the yard, in the unit. And a lot of times, if if you're a motherfucking G, you talk to the, you know, the lieutenant or whoever it is that runs it, and they'll let you run your shit as long as there's no violence. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sarah Silk, thanks for the donation. Did you see Vitor Belfort's retirement fight? Nah, I didn't see it. I missed it. I missed it over the weekend. Yeah, but, you know, there's ways to make money in prison. Somebody said, it's all a hustle. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, in gambling, you don't want to owe nobody money in prison. That's a way to get your wig split. Drugs, get your wig split. You know, a lot of times, motherfuckers who are running, you know, if you're doing any type of hustling like that, you have people send the money on the street. That way you ain't dealing with the bullshit in there and they ain't owing you. So you get paid ahead of time based on credit. And that's how you stay out the way. Otherwise, a motherfucker build up a debt and you'll be fucked trying to collect it. Why do you think about some guys that use guns to kill people they have beef with? Is that ever justified? Some motherfuckers just can't fight, man. So, I mean, they would rather than take an ass whooping, they'd rather kill somebody, sit in the penitentiary for the rest of their life just because they're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Or they don't have enough sense to learn how to defend themselves. I think that, you know, if you can't handle a fade, then you don't need to be, you know, out there running around like you're a tough guy. You know, if you're talking about preaching all this, you know, shooting and killing motherfuckers, yeah, it's all, you know, you think it's good until they get your ass on camera. And believe me, they got surveillance everywhere now, so you're not going to get away with murder. You know what I mean? You might think you got away, but there's no statute of limitation. Motherfucker that that knows that you did that, all they got to do is go to court and testify against you, and you're fucked. Alex, thanks for the donation. Will the Bloods and Crips ever make peace? I don't know, brother. You know, I don't really, I'm not a gang advocate. I don't really know what they got going on. A lot of Bloods and Crips are about, you know, the older dudes, they're about their money, man. They're not running around trying to shoot each other over a color anymore. It's all about making money. So I don't really know as far as the peace is always going to be youngsters that's trying to make a name for themselves. Excalibration, thanks for the donation, man. Yeah, I'm not going to entertain you, but thanks for the donation. Thanks, Big Herc, for sending a cheek buster shirt so quickly. Wife is already poses me off at me, pissed off at me. Haha. You're gonna bust some cheeks. Yeah, man. Has Big Herc ever fought a guard in another prison or an inmate in jail? Never fought a guard, never had a reason to. As far as the inmate, just had to slap a nigga, but that's about the extent of it. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, I didn't have to stick nobody. You know, didn't have to really get into no major confrontations, but it's all good, man. You ever have the whole shebang and chips? They got them in Fez too. No, I don't know anything about the whole shebang. Don Broski, thanks for the donation, homie. What we got here? What do you think about Badger saying there are more gay blacks than whites in prison? That seemed kind of disrespectful. Is there any truth to that? Did it make you think about splitting his wig? You know, I wasn't in the state pen where he was at, so I couldn't say as far as for him to say that. Now, I've seen some gay niggas up in the pen. You know what I mean? Niggas walking around, you know, sashaying their ass cheeks and shit. And some other niggas, you know, cuffing them. But at the same time, I seen some gay white cats up in there too. And I seen a lot of paisas trying to bust cheeks of whoever's gay. They don't give a fuck. Long as they got cheeks, they was up in there. My homie was at TI, Terminal Island Federal Prison. And they had a transsexual that was all the way done except for the actual penis being changed into a coochie. And this motherfucker was in the medical ward. And every day, the paisas would drop off bags of groceries to this transsexual. And basically, they had to isolate this transsexual from the main line because any chance that opportunity had itself, basically, they would try to bust his cheeks, man. So yeah, man. Yeah, the paisas go hard in the paint. But like, you know, my homie was a guard at a couple of prisons up north in the state, and he said, yeah, he caught a couple motherfuckers getting their dick sucked. Couple motherfuckers fucking with guards up in there, busting their cheeks. And these were hardcore motherfucking gangsters. So you never know who's going to do what behind closed doors on the slide. But to say that there's more on one side than the other, you know, OG Badger has his perspective on what he, you know, experienced. And I wasn't there, so I can't, you know, challenge a man's question. But at the same time, there's homosexuals in every race in prison. Believe that. Somebody said, you ever been to state pen? Nah. For the inmates considered we. Herc would love you to answer this. Is it frowned upon the feds to use martial arts in the fight? Do inmates consider that weak? Nah, man. Ain't nobody giving a... However you can whoop ass in a prison is however you can whoop ass. It doesn't matter you use martial arts. It don't matter if you use a lock and a sock. As long as you don't take an ass whooping. Ain't no fair fades up in the prison, man. This ain't no motherfucking Bellator or or fucking what do you call it? The Octagon. It's all about splitting the motherfucker's wig up in there, man. You are not to take an ass whooping in prison, and most motherfuckers are not gonna fight you head up anyways. Somebody said, have you ever witnessed or heard of an inmate getting his cheeks busted in prison? No. I've never seen somebody physically getting their cheeks busted. I did a story about this cat named Big Mike. He was busting some other fucking Native American cheeks up in there, though. But I wasn't next to a cell, so I didn't hear the cheek busting. But it was going down up in there. And like I said, motherfuckers is up in there getting their cheeks busted. I just ain't prevalent to it because I wouldn't run around with that type of shit. Somebody said, did you hear about the Holman prison riots of 2016 in Alabama? Inmates stormed the prison, stabbed the warden and the guard. Apparently the death row cells were meant to house 56 but had 200. I didn't hear about that. There was a riot, somebody asked me to do a prison talk in it where 16 inmates recently died. I can't remember if it was South Carolina, but yeah, it was a pretty sad situation, man. Riots like that, when shit kicks off, man, you just gotta arm yourself and hope for the best, man. I mean, ain't no laying under the bunk, ain't no cowering down. Everything goes in a situation like that. So if you're ever in a riot, don't think that you can hide in a mop closet or you can hide in a cell. If somebody, that's the time where if somebody wants to get somebody, they're going to use the riot as an excuse. So best believe that, That's Calibration. Thanks for the donation. Fade to Black. Thanks for the donation. What is the deal if a gang member gets jumped or raped? I don't know of any gang members. I mean, getting jumped, shit, unless he gets jumped by his own homeboys, that's gonna kick off a motherfucking riot. If a bunch of motherfuckers jump a particular guy, whenever things subside, then they're gonna handle their business. As far as raped, I've never heard of another gang member getting raped outright by somebody, and something kicking off as a result of that. Like I said, man, every prison's different. A lot of motherfuckers want to say this and that, but I mean, my experience is not going to be the same as somebody else's experience. So I let them tell it out of their mouth because they might have a different story as far as, cheeks getting busted. Somebody said, do I keep in touch with the guy that was held up by the cartel for 16 days? Yeah, I know. That's the homie Larry. I holler at him. He's doing good out here. Got his own gym. Somebody said, were you ever in NAC, North Highlands Crip? Yeah, back in the day. We was in that shit back in 88. Me and the homies, that shit was like basically originated with us back in 88, 89. And then I moved away. Dominique Griffin, thanks for the donation. White people asking about cheek busting. You know what, man? I don't know, man. People got a fascination with males getting their cheeks busted for whatever reason. Hollywood endorses that shit. They make movies like that, and then people think that that's a natural thing or it's something that happens in every prison. It's not natural to go to prison to be serving a sentence to go home and in the process get your cheeks busted. That's not part of the process, man. You know what I mean? So, for that to happen to a man is horrible. And like I said, if you're ever in that position, sock that motherfucker and have your blinky ready, because if a motherfucker comes in there to stab you to take your cheeks, hey man, you better get off. What's the most fucked up thing you heard or saw when you were doing time? The most fucked up thing I heard, man, was that there was a youngster, and he didn't realize he was dealing with a predator. And the homie said that this predator got the youngster drunk. And the youngster, young motherfucker, no facial hair, pretty boy. And once he got him drunk, he basically whooped his ass and some dude him and then took his cheeks. You know what I'm saying? At another institution, and he said basically he raped the dude. And so, you know, you got to watch who you drink with, man. You fucking with some of these cats, and man, their whole object is to be a predator, you know, which is a sick ass game. But you got him out there, man. And like I said, man, you got to always be prepared to handle your business. Hey, Big Herc, can I wear any color in prison? There's only one color in prison, brown. They got actually it's a tan in some institutions. Other ones it might be like a orange. And then you know, for sweatsuits it's usually a gray. So, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna be walking around with red rags and blue rags up in there like that. How long were you in prison? If long, how aware of technology advancements were you in jail? How did you react when you got out? I was in prison for 8 years, 8 months. Technology-wise, I mean, when I went into prison, the phones were Nextel. When I got out, you know, it was, what they have? They had, the one with the ball. They had, those were the big phones when I got out. I forgot what they're called, but those were the popular phones. People had, Bluetooth. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I thought people were talking to themselves. Yeah, it had changed a lot, man. I mean, the thing is, for me, when I got out of prison, I wasn't institutionalized, so I didn't come out of prison acting like I had been to prison. So as soon as I got out, I was able to go to the gym, network, meet people, get my hustle on, get a job, because nobody knew I had been to prison. So, you know, for those who are in prison, who, you know, buy into the whole prison culture, the transition is harder for them. But I didn't have a big, it wasn't hard for me to get out and, you know, acclimate back into society, because the whole time I was in, that's all I focused on was getting out of prison. So, somebody said, what made me do porn? Check out, I talked about that in, on my YouTube channel, Big Herc 916. I did a whole video about how I got into the porn game. So check it out, man. Big Herc 916. I do a whole thing about, you know, I was in YA, and basically the whole time I was in there, I read fuck books. I fantasized about busting female cheeks, and when I got out, I became a professional coochie assassin. BlackBerry, that's it. I had a BlackBerry when I got out, and you couldn't have a phone at the halfway house, so I used to have the BlackBerry fucking you know, hidden on me. You know what I'm saying? I stuffed that thing in my dun-dun-duns, and you know, they do a little pat down. But that BlackBerry, when I first got out, man, that's how I got my first piece of pussy, on that motherfucking BlackBerry, man. I signed up on one of those old sites, and yeah, man, it took me a couple weeks, but it finally happened, man. Hey, Big Herc, Leroy here. I have a question. I'm going to prison on crack possession this Wednesday. How do I get situated in prison and not get claimed by some guy busting cheeks? Well, hopefully, man, you know somebody that's in prison that's basically you associated with on the street, or you got a homie that can look out for you, or you have some type of affiliation that will, you know, you can fall into. Usually some OG takes you under their wing, you know, the right way, and they kind of lace you on prison politics. But if you've been watching this channel, hopefully this has helped you get an idea of what to do and what not to do. The Catonis, thanks for the donation. Why do blacks commit more crime statistically? Economics. I mean, fuck, man, economics and lack of education, man. I mean, you know, if you're educated and you have a, you know, a higher degree of understanding, you're not going to do certain things because you'll feel that those things are beneath you. I know I'm doing a book right now. I'm writing a book about my life, and I look back and reflect on a lot of the things I did when I was 18. I was doing them out of fucking sheer ignorance, man. I didn't have a male mentor, and I didn't have a role model. So I was like basically on the street searching for things and doing things that were fucking just just ignorant, that had no purpose. You know, I was a straight A student, man. I could have been studying to become a stockbroker or an engineer or anything, you know. But instead, I was hanging out, packing pistols, selling drugs, running around, entertaining ignorant ass shit. And so when you get into that mind frame, it's easy to do things that are stupid and not say no. Pretty Boutique, thanks for the donation. Any insight on low and medium security prisons? I mean, watch, man, the channel, I talk about all this on Prison Talk, man. As far as insight, stay out of prison, man. Prison, I mean, they're fucking pieces of shit. Low, medium security, it's all lockup, man. You know what I'm saying? No, don't go to prison, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta focus. If you're on this channel, you got enough sense, then there is no, the fascination with prison, there is no fucking glamour in the shit. There is nothing to look forward to. There is no accolades. There is no fucking award ceremony. It's just a bunch of shit, man. And you got a bunch of trolls. You got a bunch of haters. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody unless the motherfucker really deserves it. But yeah, man, low and medium security prisons, they're all garbage. You're still locked up and somebody's telling you what to do. Roy Scott, thanks for the donation. I'm very interested in hearing your take on what happened with Officer Christopher Dorner. I didn't hear about that. What happened with him? Sarah Silk, thanks for the donation. Do you think Uber will actually have flying cars in 5 years, and does the way technology is advancing so fast scare you? It doesn't scare me, man, because I'm going to be advancing with it, and in 5 years, I'll be on some whole other level. So economically, I'm just concerned with staying up with the financial aspects of what's going on in society, because I see the homeless growing and nobody gives a fuck about the homeless. So if you're not taking care of business, you know what I mean, it's going to be a great divide. You're going to have the rich, 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 and you're going to have the poor, poor, poor. So be about your money, y'all. Chris Fallon, thanks for the donation, man. You rule, Herc. I appreciate it. That's amazing. Thanks for the donation. Blacks don't commit more crimes. They are convicted of more. It's the difference. Most people are in jail for nonviolent offenses. I agree, man. You know what I mean? They're not necessarily, it looks, the numbers are because, okay, over half the prisons are filled with nonviolent drug offenses. You know why? Because they made the laws to keep they know that majority of blacks getting caught with drugs, they can get them to plead out. They get you to plead out one time, you get caught again. Now you got a motherfucking prior, you're going to get time, and you're going to sit in prison for a nonviolent drug offense. They're going to put you to work in a factory. They're going to take you away from your family, your kids, and basically break up the whole family structure. So, you know, the whole game is, of course, the black communities, the Mexican communities are going to be targeted more, so you got to be smarter. These policemen, you know, they know it, man. They know that the odds of you fighting your case are slim to none because you don't have the money, you don't have the resources. So, of course, it is biased. There's no question, man. I just seen a lady the other day. She got pulled out of her car for a traffic violation. She was a grandma, and they shook her ass up and basically manhandled her, and she was in her 60s, almost 70-something years old. I mean, come on, man. That's not necessary. A grandma? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Big Herc, have you heard that audio of Bonfire doing commentary on your show? It's hilarious. No, I ain't heard that, man. Shoot me a link to that email at an email, FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. I ain't heard that. Ron F, thanks for the donation, man. When are the shoes shipping out? I should have the shoes any day, man. That's what I talked about earlier. So the shoes, my goal is to start shipping out next week. So we're waiting for the shipment from overseas, man. As soon as we get them, they're going out to you guys. And like I said, I really appreciate your patience, man. Somebody said, is that a California term, YA? CYA is California Youth Authority. It used to be a prison for young adults. They basically closed all the California Youth Authorities, and they now put the young prisons on the same compound as the adult prisons, so that, you know, psychologically, you're already in the pen. So they're basically preparing these youngsters just to walk from one gate to another gate because, you know what I mean, you have nothing else You have nothing else, you know, blocking. You have nothing else to look forward to, you know. So it's fucked up, man. Youth Authority, at least some of them have programs work related that can help you. I saw a YouTube video, guys in prison have PlayStation and Xboxes in cells. You see anything like that? No, man. They did have PlayStations at the USP in the game room, and I believe they had them at the medium in the game room, but you couldn't take them back to the cell. I don't know. In the state, it's probably a lot different, man. Like I said, state prisons are ran differently than federal prisons. You have TVs in the cell. You don't have TVs in the cell in the feds. You got a TV room, but there's no TVs in the cell. So the state prison is a lot different. Christopher Borelli, thanks for the donation. Hey, Big Herc, sorry if you cover this. Is the podcast going to continue? The last episode I saw is on March 16th. Yeah, we know what? We're not going to... We might come back to the podcast later on down the line. We got a few more episodes we need to knock out for our agreement, but as of right now, we're going to continue to do the prison talk format, how we've been doing it. Something from nothing, and then the interviews. We just didn't have the time to continue the podcast, and at this time, it just wasn't really feasible for us to continue to do it, because we want to keep you guys... we listened to the fans, and the fans wanted the old school prison talks, so that's kind of like what we went back to. Corvette, thanks for the donation. Love your videos, Big Herc. Keep up the good work. I'm busting female cheeks. All right, Matt. Bust some cheeks out, homie. Big Herc, what do you think about Brazilian gangs, and have you ever met one member? Never met any Brazilian gang members. And, you know, when I was in prison, man, I wasn't into the gang shit, man. I was trying to educate myself. You know, prison is what you make of it. And if you involve yourself with that shit, it's easy for you to get caught up. Once you get caught up, you can't get out. So, you know, the whole thing is not to even bother getting involved with that unless that's how you want to do your time. So, you know, it's all up to the individual. Big Herc, how cult leaders like Manson and his followers are treated in prison? Are they respected, getting wig splitted for bragging about the religious or ideological beliefs? I never ran into anybody like Manson, man. I don't know how they were treated. I mean, there was guys in there, I'm quite sure, who have been involved in cults. Nobody gave a fuck. You know, there's people in there, high-powered in the feds, that were worth $100 million. Mafia leaders. Everybody minds their business, man. Nobody's in your business like that, running around bragging about what they did. You know, most guys, you don't even know what they're in there for. You know what I mean? So you don't spread your, you know, your business out there, man, because that'll get your wig split. Somebody said Donor was the LA cop who went crazy and started murdering people. That's right, that's right. Then he holed up in the cabin and set it on fire. I really don't have an opinion on him, man. I mean, you know, whatever his mission was, I don't know, and I really don't give a fuck. I mean, you know, he was a crazed popo, and, you know, they were going to smoke his ass anyway. They weren't going to let him get on. They weren't going to take his ass alive because he was on a mission. And he knew how the police got down, so they had to handle him accordingly. But, yeah, I don't really have an opinion about the guy, man, you know. Hey, Big Herc, what do you do outside of YouTube and prison talk to make money and support yourself? Financially. I buy and sell cars. I got a clothing line, and I also do investments. I got money invested in numerous cryptocurrencies, and I got some other investments tied into stuff that produces passive income. So I spread my money out, man. I'm not going to work for my money every day, so I let my money work for me. So, yeah, I got things out there that actually take care of a lot of my financial expenses. Sweet Pickle, thanks for the donation, man. Mad props to your work and message. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Sin City Beer, thanks for the donation. Thanks for everything you do, bro. I went to prison at 17 and got out when I was 24. Thanks for everything you do and keep doing your shit. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hey, man, I love all y'all, man, and appreciate you guys when you tune in and share positivity. Yeah, man, it's a lot of, there's a lot of, you know, negativity out there. And, you know, there's no need to really be involved in negative shit. You know, it does us no good, does you no good. And, you know, I try to show a different light because I know that it's hard out there for a lot of youngsters. And social media has a way of basically distorting things to glamorize things that shouldn't be glamorized. Homie wants to go live with me, but I'm not going to do it right now because I don't know who you are. But I'll holler back. Anyways, let's do the shout-outs. Shoot me an email, man, if you guys want to get into any type of conversation, because I'm not just going to put you on my live stream without me knowing who the hell you are. So hit us, shoot us an email at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com or get at us on Wix. You can subscribe to our website. Shoot me a message on the website, FreshOutSeries.com. I'd love to hear from you guys. But, yeah, I'm not, you know, I got to know who you are before I holler at you. So let's get ready for the shout-outs. Everybody, what's up? Shout out to San Diego. Shout out to Sacktown. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to San Pedro, Harbor City. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Shout out to Richmond. Shout out to Kentucky. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Missouri. Shout out to St. Gabriel. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out to Dirty Jersey. Shout out to St. Louis. Tampa Bay, Florida. Boston, Massachusetts. Carson, California. Shout out to San Mateo. South Texas. South Carolina. Shout out to Brownsboro, Brooklyn. Shout out to Inland Empire. Shout out to Fort Myers, Florida. Shout out to 815. Shout out to Aurora, Illinois. Jasper, Canada. Boyle Heights, LA. Australia. Shout out to Chris Fallon. Thanks for donation. Shout out to Mount Vernon, Ohio, Seattle, Washington, Tijuana, Mexico, Florida, ATL, San Pedro again, Sacramento, Vegas, AZ, Hayward, Victorville, California, 361 Victoria, Fresno, Miami, East LA, Cincinnati, Homestead, Florida, Oakland, Peoria, Whittier, Oxnard, Stockholm, Sweden, Odessa, Texas, Antarctica, Bompton, Toronto, Compton, Bay Area. Hey, man, shout out to everybody who tuned in. Love y'all, man. Look forward to talking with y'all next week. Shout out to Chico, Maryland. Everybody, man, you know, stay positive, man. Watch out for the trolls. Make sure you guys get your tickets for the June 21st Vans Warped Tour in Pomona. Love to see you there. Do a meet and greet. Other than that, man, stay busting your wife's cheeks, your girl's cheeks, whoever's cheeks you're busting. Be happy in life. Make money. And stay out the way, man. Fresh Out. We'll be at you guys. If you got any questions, hit us up at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe to the website and subscribe to the channel. We hit that 500,000. We're giving away that $1,000, man. We hope that you guys can participate in that, and we look forward to hearing from you. I'm out.